Hey, my name is Patrick O'Connell. I'm the new director of NewThing. I'm really not that new to NewThing though. You see, I found my way back to God right here at Community about 9 years ago. I got baptized. I joined a small group, became an apprentice, began leading small groups, soon coaching, and all of that good stuff. And then Troy McMahon kind of wrecked my life by asking me to go to Kansas City and help him start a series of churches that we call Restore. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done, and I am so glad I did it. And now as NewThing director, I have this amazing vantage point to see God do some beautiful things in big ways and small ways across our movement. One of the things that I really love to do is hear the stories from our NewThing churches. Many of you might remember Hank Wilson. Hank Wilson used to be on staff right here at Community, and then he went to Boston to plant some churches. He's doing some amazing things. And he's got a story to tell us. Here's Hank in his own words.
In 2005, my family and I moved to the city to plant a church that would help people find their way back to God. We started with just a handful of people, and we've grown to about 500 people at our weekend gatherings. We now have 2 locations, one that meets here in the Back Bay, and then our second location meets at the historic Somerville Theater, which is just north of Harvard. And from the very beginning, we've been a part of the NewThing network. So the Boston Marathon is run on April 15th, and it's an important time in our city. There's just kind of comes alive, and of course the marathon that day was interrupted by the 2 bombings that took place really just right over here on Boylston Street. Just a day later, I think, we had baptisms planned, and we were trying to figure out what do we do. And I went to my staff first, and they just said, no, we got to do these baptisms. And a couple of them even said, I can't think of a better way to show that life comes from death through Jesus Christ. So at that point, we went forward with it. We had one of the largest baptism gatherings that we've ever had. There were a lot of people that came to our baptism gatherings who don't typically come, but they wanted to come and to be in a spiritual community of faith, and they wanted to pray, and it was just a beautiful event. The generosity of Community Christian Church is making a huge impact here in Boston. Through Celebration Generosity and giving to the NewThing network, it's made a difference in churches like ours, and we are so grateful. You may never see it, but I can personally attest to the fact that lives are being changed every day in our community.
Before coming to Reunion, I was living a lie. On the outside, I looked like a happy girl with everything together. I had a good job, I paid my bills, I volunteered regularly, but the truth is, I was hiding painful secrets. It was all I could do to just sit in the back and cry and then sneak out before anybody could see me. I was pretty sure that if anybody knew the kind of person that I was, they would want nothing to do with me. But I kept coming because I found something at Reunion that I'd never experienced before outside of a drink or a drug. Relief. At Hank's suggestion, I immediately joined a community group, started serving in hospitality as a way to plug in. I honestly thought Hank was crazy when he asked me if I was interested in serving. I'd always figured that I was too broken to do anything worthwhile, or that I had to fix myself before God could use me in any way. But I took that step in faith. So for the past 6 months, I have been faithfully attending Reunion Back Bay, serving in setup and hospitality, and going to community group every week. And God has truly been transforming my heart. Honestly, my life has changed so much in the past year. It's like I'm a whole new person. Before having God in my life, I was hopeless and suicidal. I was completely consumed by the guilt and pain and shame of my past. But today, by the grace of God, I'm alive and I am joyful, and I'm surrounded by a community of Christ followers who know me and love me. Had I not found Reunion last year and experienced the unconditional love of Jesus Christ, I know that I wouldn't be here today. I truly believe that Christ has blessed me with a second chance at life, his life, and I couldn't be more grateful.